see, this thing is definitely making what he wanted it to make and doing exactly what he wanted to do.
776 and 608 at 16 PSI on E70. So that's just map one. Hey, what's going on guys? Nick from Soho Motorsports, and we've got Ben's 900 plus wheel 370Z, built motor, twin turbo, E85, all the boost, all the fuel. Let's talk about this. This is a very fun build that we just wrapped up. It's Ben's 900 plus wheel Nissan 370Z. You heard that right, 900 plus wheel. That's over 1,000 horsepower to the crank. So what does it take to get this kind of power out of a VQ? You always see people say, how do you make 3 times the power? How do you even make 4 times the power that the car came with? Well, I am here to guide you guys and explain to you how we did that with this build in particular. So we start first with the main component in this build, which is going to be our Soho Stage 2 engine package, which has the HB package on it, along with our newly upgraded heads that we offer for all of the HB packages for the VHR. So what does the new head package include? Includes larger valves, a couple of other items as well in there too, to allow it to breathe better and make power more efficiently. If you've seen Alpha's car, I'm sure you've seen it all over Texas 2K. He does have that same set of heads on his vehicle. This one has it on this vehicle as well too. There's another vehicle as well that has, there's 3 vehicles out there that have that new VHR head package. So all I can say is the efficiency that we've seen gone through the roof with this particular head package on the same vehicle, just by changing the heads. We did some prior testing prior to releasing it on these HB engine packages. So with the engine already in the system here, the next thing that we need is going to be the AM Stage 2 twin turbo kit, which is going to be the upgraded Borg-Warner turbos that come with the kits compared to the smaller ones that come on the Stage 1. Not a massive difference in regards to turbo sizing, because you are limited as to how much space you have underneath the motor, because you got to remember this is a twin turbo setup, so it's going to sit tucked up underneath the motor. So once again, limited to how much power, how much room you have in the actual engine bay to be able to kind of put this turbo kit and make the power. So turbo kit, engine, those are your 2 main things you need. Now, what else do you need to kind of make this power? You're also going to need the fueling components, the drivetrain components, and the last but not most important thing is going to be the calibration on this vehicle to allow you to make the power that you need. One thing I do want to point out, we did modify this AM twin turbo kit, and this is something that we will be offering for our clients. So if you have the AM twin turbo kit and you are wanting to make a little bit more power, you'll see the intakes on this vehicle are a little different compared to how you see it on the AAM kit. Through prior testing and research, what we found is the actual stock intakes that come on the AM twin turbo kit at higher boost levels will actually shut the filter shut. So we went with a larger piping diameter on the actual intakes and obviously a larger filter, which allowed us to kind of prevent that filter from being sucked shut. And obviously when you're seeing it being sucked shut, it's losing power. So once we got all that situated, turbo kit, motor, everything is good in regards to that. The next step is going to be fueling. How much fueling is required to make over 900 wheel on a VQ? So 1700cc injectors from Injector Dynamics. We've got the CJM twin pump. This vehicle has twin 525 Hellcat fuel pumps. Obviously the fuel lines to go from the back of the engine to the front of the engine via the twin pump to the rails, aftermarket rails. And obviously that's going to be the main thing that is needed to be able to support the amount of fuel needed to make over 900 wheel on ethanol. Doing it on pump gas is going to be very difficult because this vehicle does have a higher compression motor. It is almost a 12-to-1 compression engine on this setup here. As the old times, they used to do low compression, high boost. What happens with that is you run a lot more boost to make the same power. If you run less boost with higher compression, you're obviously able to make the same power. This is when the calibration comes into play. So if you know what you're doing in regards to that, high compression is always going to be the way to go when you're wanting to go force induction and make power on less boost. More boost, you run into the efficiency range of the actual turbo. The turbos are not happy, then it's blowing hot air. Sorry to go off on a tangent. That just explains everything in regards to what is going on whenever you do go from a low compression motor to a high compression motor. Now, fueling, turbo kit, motor, how much is it going to take? How much torque are we going to see on this vehicle? What kind of clutch are we going to need on this one? There are many options out there. So this vehicle has got the OS Geiken triple disc setup on this vehicle. There's also the Z-Speed triple disc setup that a lot of guys will run as well too. You're going to need a twin or a triple disc clutch system to allow you to put the power down, just because a single disc is not going to be able to handle the torque that this thing puts down. So now that we have motor, turbo kit, fueling, clutches, all that stuff figured out, this vehicle also does have the upgraded QA1 Soho drive shaft. So you are going to need a drive shaft. A lot of times what happens with the stock drive shaft, they'll break under high power, especially when you're going to launch the vehicle. So as we continue to work our way back, what else did we change in the drive line? We actually went from a 3.7 final drive ratio on this vehicle to 3.5. Now, what does that mean? What am I doing when I'm going from the 3.7 to the 3.5? When I'm going from the 3.3 final drive ratio to a 3.5, what happens is it basically allows us to stay in gear longer and not have to worry about shifting more when we're doing 60 to 130s, when we're going down the track. It basically elongates the pull, elongates the RPM that you're going to be in whenever you're going from that 3.7 to 3.5. So the lower you go in number, the longer the gear is going to be. For example, the Automatics have the 3.33. So a lot of guys will put the 3.33 for half mile racing, or a lot of guys will go 3.9, or they'll go 4.0. Depending on what you're wanting to do with the vehicle is going to determine what kind of final drive you want in this vehicle. Now, the most important question, how much power does this vehicle put down? So this vehicle has 3 maps. I'll tell you what map 1 is, and I'll tell you what map 3 is. Map 3 is going to be the yes map. So map 1 put down 776 and 608 at 16 PSI on E70. So that's just map 1. Now we go from map 1 to map 2 to map 3. Now map 3 is going to be the boost, all of it, yes map, where it's basically going to make about 25 PSI is what it's going to make on map 3. That is where we saw the limitation of the turbo kit. That's where we started seeing that we weren't making any kind of returns when we were increasing the boost pressure. So that's where we stopped. So at 25 pounds, this vehicle put down 970 wheel and 778 foot-pounds of torque. Take a look at this graph. Look how nice this graph looks. It looks real nice. It comes in. I brought it in a little bit later just because I wanted to kind of keep the traction and have the power on the top end, as you can see in the boost plot. So Aiden and Justin are going to go for a ride in this. They're going to have so much fun with this. I'm kind of just that I didn't go on a ride with this one. However, this is a fun build. We thank Ben for it. Let's go for the ride.
Okay, guys, I'm Aiden. This is Justin. As you guys know, we're just doing a little bit of quick review in Ben's 370 Nismo with the Stage 2 built motor by us and the AAM twin turbo kit. So, Justin, take it over from here and let them know this stuff.
What's up, guys? How are you? So, this one's basically got a pretty solid selection of parts. It is our HB Stage 2 engine package with all the new head porting and all the new gaskets and all the new goodies. It's got an AAM twin turbo kit, the Stage 2 with the larger turbos. That kit is modified by us as well. It has external gates on it, so that way we can do more accurate boost control with the power levels that we're at. So beyond that, it's also got an upgraded triple disc clutch. It's got custom Soho catch cans that we did the fuel system, so that way it's ready for anything that can be thrown at it. And this car does a solid bit over 900 wheel horsepower. You know, so it makes some jam. Like, it's absolutely stupid. Now that there's some heat in the tires, it will start to hook up right at the top of third. So once you get into fourth, it actually will start to put the power down, which is nuts, to put it in a word. Fortunately, it does have the built differential, and we just recently got Dylan to dial the alignment in, so that way it shoots straight even when the tires are lit up. So this car is absolute monster. I know Ben's gonna enjoy it. This is one of his requirements for getting this car back, was that it had to spin tires in third and it had to spin tires in fourth. So, brother, we got you covered. It does it.
Well, it definitely does it. As you guys can see, this thing is definitely making what he wanted it to make and doing exactly what he wanted to do. So, Ben, thank you so much for letting us work on your car and do this build. And especially as a media guy, it has been a pleasure to be able to be near this car and just shoot it. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and show the love. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out, guys.